morning, everyone.
Good morning.
And welcome to Third Unitarian Church. We're so glad you could be with us here this morning to celebrate life, grieve our sufferings, and connect with one another. We hope you find Third Unitarian Church to be a place that enriches your spirit and motivates you to take action to bless the world. We welcome all people in this church, and we welcome your whole person. Because we are having a special service today to honor Black History Month, we're going to have our Joys and Concerns ceremony next week. So if you'd like to submit a joy or a concern, you're welcome to do that today. The Caring Committee is also passing out a survey today. I see many of you with it in your hands, asking you to help with caring for the members of our church. They would love to receive the survey back today, so if you can fill it out and hand it back to either Dorothy Wills or Kathy Jeans, they would appreciate that. Next Sunday is Commitment Sunday, so we look forward to having you join us and return your pledge cards next week when we'll have the ceremony during the service. This afternoon from 4 to 5:30, the TUC and Unity Temple Action in Austin group will meet at Unity Temple's Gale House. We also need your board surveys back by tomorrow, Monday, February 16th, because we're going to be discussing them at the board meeting on Tuesday, February 17th. So if you want to share your input about who's going to be on the search committee for the next settled minister, get those board surveys back in. You can give them to the office today. We'll collect them and go over them Tuesday evening. If you forgot to bring yours with you, we have additional copies. And you can get one and fill it out, and we'll take it. Immediately following our service today, please join us for the Austin Scholarship Fundraising Luncheon in honor of Black History Month, located downstairs in the Robeson booth. As always, further information about these events are printed in your order of service, and they're also printed in This Week at 2UC, which is both emailed to you, and hard copies are always located downstairs on the table. Next Sunday's forum is a special program called Inspirations and Reflections, Readers and Listeners. You can bring your favorite poem or short text to share with others. Frank Olter will start us off with a few of his favorites, and if you only want to listen to other people's favorites, that's also fine. The session pays tribute to the long-standing Readers and Listeners group that met monthly at TUC in a similar format. Our celebration of life for next Sunday is The Arc of the Universe's Long, Faith in a Better World. Likely inspired by Transcendental Unitarian minister Theodore Parker, Martin Luther King Jr. said, "The arc of the universe is long, but it bends towards justice." How long is that arc? How, in fact, does it bend? Can we see its curve, or do we take it on faith? Minister Jennifer Nordstrom and Worship Associate Max Lyles will explore the faithful collective act of working towards the beloved community. And again, this will include a ceremony of commitment to this community as we turn in our pledge cards. Once again, welcome to Third Unitarian Church. We light this chalice, a symbol of hope, faith, freedom, and love, and connect with Unitarian Universalists in the past, the present, and the future.
Good morning again. I have to say good morning, and let's see everyone here. I'm going to speak to you about why and how I came to Third Unitarian Church, and the importance of us to financially support TUC. Okay? This is not necessarily comfortable, but we will do what we can do. Okay? Let me just tell you that many years ago, after I was married, recently married, my spouse decided that he did not want to go to any church at all. Okay? And I decided that that was absolutely unacceptable. So here we are, pretty newly married, and already we have a sort of disagreement. So he came up with Unitarian. And you know, I think he was surprised when I said, oh, I know about that group. They are fabulous. They are courageous. They are strong. They have backbone. I like that. That was a surprise to him, I do believe. I think he thought I would say no. No, I knew more than he thought I knew. So here we were. So we looked at what we used to call a phone book. There used to be phone books. So he looked in the phone book, and since we lived in Austin, here was Third Unitarian Church at 301 North Mayfield. So we came over, we spoke to Dr. Bureau. Sound like a pretty good place. Then we found ourselves attending on Sundays, and the people here seemed to have the same values and beliefs that we had. We said, this is an excellent fit. This is wonderful. We both agreed to that, okay? And so, fine. Now, several years later, I had my daughter, and one Sunday morning I said, I think I would like to stay home today from church. And my daughter said, oh no, we can't do that. We're working on certain projects in the church school, and I've got to be at church. So then my spouse said, you see what you have done. All right, so here we are. All right, so it's really very interesting. I am very glad to be a member of Third Unitarian Church. This is a church where I say that we have backbone, okay? We are strong, okay? We are focused. We also know how to make adjustments, I'll have to tell you that. We are concerned with community and this world that we live in. And so, I'm going to go on and tell you that during the time that I have been here, I have found that we're able to discuss and we're able to debate. Some of the debates we have had among ourselves and in groups have not always been very comfortable. Okay? And if I had a video, which would not be a nice thing to show you, I could show you some meetings where you would not know if you should laugh or cry. Okay? All right. But for sure, it would be emotional. I bet you that. Okay? So I have found that during the years that I have been here that it has been important to me to have a full-time minister, to keep a religious education program for our young people, for also our forum and religious education program that we call forum for the adults, office staff, an administrator of the office, really, really important. I don't know, this is a very busy place here during the week in terms of what the minister and office staff have to deal with. Okay. It is important to have a musician here. Okay, we have great music. And there's all kinds of other things that cost money that is a part of keeping up this building. Okay. Things that I would probably not think of, but things that's just a part of having a building. And it all costs money. So it all comes down to dollar signs that are attached to this. Now, I am just doing the talk here. Okay, but I know that together we know how to do the walk, and we will find a way through pledging or through other activities to keep Third Unitarian Church moving so we can continue to work on those goals that are important in this world that we live in. And that is all I have to say, and thank you very much.
We give not so that we can keep the lights on, but rather because having the lights on means that we can be together. We give not so that we can have the heat on, which it will come on, but rather because we recognize that not all of us have heat. We give not to pay the minister or staff, but because having a minister and staff to challenge and encourage us transforms our lives. We give not because we're obligated to, but because through our giving, this community continues to offer us meaning and support. We give, in short, not because it makes the church possible. We give because the church helps to make all of us together possible. This morning's offering will be gratefully received. May it be joyfully given. Will the ushers please come forward?
most fantastic actresses in America. And she happens to be a friend of mine. If you've not seen the movie Selma, this presentation will help you to understand some of the events months and years before the march. If you have seen the movie Selma, we encourage you. Have not seen it, we encourage you to do so and take your children, grandchildren, or whatever children you might have contact with you. 2 months before he died, Malcolm X, my favorite person, shared the Audubon stage with this person He considered her to be the #1 freedom fighter woman in America. She was born the 20th child of a sharecropper family in Roosevelt, Mississippi, in the Mississippi Delta. She never stopped singing, marching, speaking, even through the civil rights struggle. She was strong and powerful. Please welcome Fannie Lou Hamer.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. How y'all doing? All right. October 6, 1917, I come into this world. The youngest of 20 children born to Jim and Lou Ella Townsend. They named me Fannie Lou. We lived on a plantation and we slept in a tin house. Nighttime we sang songs, Papa tell jokes, and we parched peanuts around the fire. I love school, reciting poetry, but I couldn't go no longer than 6th grade. See, we plant and pick cotton, give half to the man what owned the land. This is what they call sharecropping. Life wasn't much better than slavery. We were still breaking our backs, working from sunup to sundown. Sharecropping credit and no right to vote is how white folks kept poor black folks down. Trying to raise up could cost your life. One year Papa done good, so he rent some land and buy 3 meals, Ella, Bird, and Henry. A white man put Paris green in the food trough, kill every animal we had. That poison knocked us right back down flat. We ain't never get back up again. All my young life I worked the farm, but I ain't never had enough to eat. I asked my mama, how come white folk have everything and they don't even work? My mama say, hate to make you weak. America's sick, and we they only hope. When her clothes tear, she patch them. When the patch tears, she patch that. I swore when I got grown, my mama would never gonna have to wear no more patch clothes. Within the old home place, a patient smiling face would always shed good comfort, hope and cheer. And when she used to sing to her eternal King, it was the song the angels love to hear. If I could hear my mother pray again, good. If I could only hear her tender voice and then how happy I would be. 'Twould mean so much to me if I could hear my mother pray again. In 1944, me and Pap Hamer get married. We couldn't have no children, so we adopted Dorothy Jean and Bergerie. Pap run a little juke joint. We make and sell liquor. Daytime, I pick cotton. Nighttime, I clean the Marlowe house and keep his books. It took all this just to get by. One day, their little daughter say, "You ain't got to clean this bathroom too good, it's just for old honey." We had to use an outhouse, but they dog had his own indoor plumbing. I asked God to just give me a chance to do something about what's going on in Mississippi. All my life I longed for change. It was slow coming. I ain't never give up hope. I wish I knew how it would feel to be free. And I wish I could break all these chains holding me. And I wish I could say all the things that I could say. Say I'm loud, say I'm clear, for the whole world to hear. And I wish I could share all the love that's in my heart. Remove all the bonds that keep us apart. And I wish you could know what it means to be me. Then you'll see and agree that every man should be free. And I wish I could live like I'm longing to live. And I wish I could give all I'm longing to give. And I wish I could do all the things that I could do. Though I'm way overdue, I'd be starting anew. And I wish I could be like a bird in the sky. How sweet it would be if I found out I could fly. I'd soar to the sun and look down at the sea. And I'd say, 'cause I know how it feels to be free. Summer 1955. 14-year-old Emmett Till come to visit his Uncle Mo in Money, Mississippi, about 25 miles from us in Louisville. He bought candy and bubble gum and say, "Bye baby," to the white woman in the store. So say, J.W. Myler and Roy Bryant come and took little Emmett away. His body was found in the Tallahassee River. A 75-pound cotton gin fan tied around his neck with barbed wire. He done been beat, vicious, and shot through the head. His mama, Miss Mamie Till, have an open casket so the world could see what they done to her baby. 10 years earlier, while serving his country in Italy, Louis Till had been tried and convicted of rape and murder. Black officials had not been allowed to participate in this fiasco. They and many others believed him to be innocent, that he was being railroaded, used as a deterrent to stop other black soldiers from fraternizing with white women. Mamie Till had never been told how her husband died. But during the trial, when little Emmett was killed, Senator James Eastland, Democrat, Mississippi, brought all of this information out to say that little Emmett was just like his daddy, and he deserved what he got. The two men was found not guilty. Later, Milam became the night policeman in our town. His last words were, "Mama, save me, have mercy on me, Lord." The blow still fell, but little Emmett had died. Emmett Till, his name will be a legend we all know. From Chicago to Mississippi to see his Uncle Mo. But we won't see little Emmett anymore. Black folks was hurt deep. I kept on praying for change. I ain't know what else to do. I ain't know there was other black women with the same burning fire inside as me. Just 3 months later, December 1st, 1955, Rosa Parks was arrested because she wouldn't give up her seat to a white person on the Montgomery City bus. Reverend Ralph Abernathy called for a boycott. They tell me not one of 25,000 African Americans rode them buses. They held fast for 382 days. When the Supreme Court banned segregation in public transportation, the boycott ended. But a light done been lit. Black folks started to protest all over the South. I was still picking in cotton in Louisville. Ain't know much about what was going on. In 1957, Governor Albert Forbes called out the National Guard to block 9 black students from going to all-white Central High in Little Rock. President Eisenhower ordered in federal marshals. The civil rights movement forged on. 1960, April, 4 black A&T students sat down at a Woolworth's lunch counter. They was beat up by whites. The second day, 20 come. The third day, 50 come. Some was white. Reporters let the rest of the country know what was going on. By April, sit-ins done spread to 77 cities. Before the year was out, now 75,000 young folk was sitting in. 4,000 was arrested. 1961, 7 black and 6 white got on a Greyhound bus in Washington, D.C. headed for the Deep South to challenge segregation and interstate travel. They was beat. The bus was set afire. The Freedom Riders went on. So did the beatings. The police ain't do nothing. That same year, I was sterilized without being told. When I asked the doctor why he do that to me, he ain't opened his mouth. Not much word about the movement reached us in Louisville. Even if you had a little radio by nighttime, you're too tired to listen to the news. Time just passed. In the spring, we plant the cotton. In the fall, we pick it. Nothing seemed to change except the season. Then, in 1962, a mass meeting was held at our church. SNCC and SCLC leaders say, if anything was going to change in Mississippi, we would have to go to Indianola and register to vote. I was 44 years old, and this what I've been waiting for all my life. Gonna register to vote. I'm gonna let it shine. Gonna register to vote. I'm gonna let it shine. Lola, white folks was outside in cowboy boots and hats with guns and bad dogs. Inside, they say we gotta explain one of the 286 sections of the Mississippi State Constitution before we could register. All 18 of us failed. Driving home, we was pulled over, arrested, and fined $100 because our bus was too yellow. When I finally got home, Mr. Marlowe was in a snap. You go, take it back or leave. We're not ready for this in Mississippi. I say, Mr. Marlowe, I ain't go to register for you. I went for myself. I left that night. 16 shots was fired into the home of friends what took me in. Meanwhile, things was heating up at the University of Mississippi, the pride of the state. Ross Barnett vowed, no Negro will ever be admitted into Ole Miss while I am your governor. President Kennedy ordered in 34,000 federal marshals. By morning, 160 folks was hurt, 2 was dead, and Jane Meredith was registered as the first African American at the University of Mississippi. Oh, beautiful for pilgrims' feet, whose stern impassioned stress a thoroughfare for freedom's beat across the wilderness. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. I went back to Louisville as a field secretary for SNCC, organizing day and night. Pap done been fired from his job after 30 years and arrested by the $9,000 water bill when we ain't even had running water. We lost our house, furniture, and car. Would nobody give us work? All this just for wanting to vote. I went back to Indianola and told that clerk, you gonna see me every 30 days till I pass. SNCC done brought some hope to Mississippi. Summer 1963, 6,000 school children started freedom marches in Birmingham. The world saw them being knocked down by powerful jets of water from firemen hose, being attacked by ferocious dogs, all ordered by Bull Connor. Local businessmen, afraid about losing money, called for lunch counter and restroom desegregation in 90 days. We was arrested in Winona, coming back from a voter registration workshop. Oh, they called me way out my name. Said they was gonna make me wish I was dead. They told 2 prisoners. I could hear the licks and screams. They took Miss Arnell Ponder first and then Miss June Johnson. I could hear the licks and screams. Then they came for me. They carried me out that cell, had me lay face down on this bunk bed. They told 2 prisoners, 2 black prisoners, if you don't beat them, You know what we want to do to you? The first one beat me with a blackjack till they give out. Then the second one took over while the first one hold my legs. I started to work my feet and they make them sit on them. I was trying to protect my left side because I had polio when I was 6 years old. I tried to smooth down my dress. That patrolman pulled it up over my head. It was so horrible. I couldn't stop screaming. A white man started beating me in my head. Hush up, nigga! They beat me so long, my skin turned black and hard like cowhide. So one morning, death come creeping in my room. Whoa, soon one morning, death come creeping in my room. Soon one morning, death come creeping in my room. Oh my Lord, oh my Lord, what shall I do? What shall I do? I'm so glad trouble don't last always. Oh, I'm so glad trouble don't last always. I'm so glad trouble don't last always. Oh my Lord, oh my Lord, what shall I do? What shall I do? 3 days later, James Bevel and Andrew Young carried me, half conscious, to the doctor. I looked so horrible I couldn't let my folks see me for not 3 months. My eye and kidney never did get right. While we was in jail, George Wallace stood on the schoolhouse steps to block integration at the University of Alabama. President Kennedy spoke up. If an American, because of the color of his skin, cannot eat in a restaurant open to the public, cannot send his children to the best public schools available, cannot live the full and free life we all desire, then who among us would be willing to stand in his place? A great change is at hand. Our duty, our obligation is to make that revolution peaceful. Those who do nothing are inviting shame as well as violence. That same night, June 12, 1963, a single round from a high-powered rifle killed Medgar Evers in his front yard. Murderer Byron D. LeBecq went free. Nina Simone wrote her dynamic song, Mississippi, goddamn. Alabama's got me so upset. Tennessee made me lose my rest. And everybody knows about Mississippi, goddamn. Alabama's got me so upset. Tennessee made me lose my rest. And everybody knows about Mississippi, goddamn. Can't you see it? Can't you feel it? It's all in the air. I can't stand the pressure much longer. Somebody say a prayer. Alabama's got me so upset. Tennessee made me lose my rest, and everybody knows about Mississippi. Goddamn! Don't tell me, I'll tell you. Me and my people just about do. I've been there, so I know. You keep on saying, go slow, go slow. But that's just the trouble. Too slow, desegregation. Too slow, unification. Too slow, mass participation. Too slow to do things gradually. Will bring more tragedy. Why don't you see it? Why don't you hear it? I don't know. I don't know. You don't have to live next to me. Just give me my equality. 'Cause everybody knows about Mississippi. Everybody knows about Alabama. Everybody knows about Mississippi. God damn. That's it. All this caused President Kennedy to introduce his new civil rights bill. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. decided on a march on Washington to show support. 250,000 people come. 60,000 was white. Dr. King made his famous speech. I have a dream. The day was peaceful. 18 days later, a bomb ripped through the 16th Street Baptist Church. 4 little girls were brutally murdered. Black folks took to the street. Some was attacking the police with sticks and bricks. The police had guns. 2 months after that march on Washington, which was 6 months after President Kennedy had spoke up for civil rights, in Dallas, Texas, he was shot and killed. Oh, beautiful, for fear heroes prove in liberating strife, who more than self thy country love, and mercy more than life. America, America, may God thy goal refine, till all success be nobleness, and every gain divine. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. still preached nonviolence. But more and more, black folks wanted to fight back. Mikasa Willie Rick's notion of black power was catching on. Young folks was chanting, beep, beep, bang, bang, Ungawa, black power, beep, beep, bang, bang, Mgawa, black power, beep, beep, bang, bang, Ungawa, black power. The government was making small concessions, but we could not rest. We had to keep the nation's attention focused on Mississippi. Summer 1964, we started bringing in young, white student volunteers. We told them about the danger and they should leave if they was afraid. We thought the white children would not be brutalized. Corps members Andrew Goodman, Mickey Schwerner, and James Chaney was arrested and disappeared. Just days before the Democratic National Convention, their bodies was found buried in the trench. Warner and Cheney's folks wanted to bury their sons side by side. Mississippi refused. Like his schoolhouse, church, libraries, and picture show, cemeteries in Mississippi were segregated, much like they are today. At the Democratic National Convention, the integrated Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party challenged the all-white party. Our goal was to be seated as the legal representative of Mississippi. I was co-chair. On national television, I talked about life in Mississippi. The violence, that brutal beating, and that's why I'm known to jail. If the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party is not seated now, I question America. Is this America, the land of the free and the home of the brave? Well, our lives are threatened daily because we want to live as decent human beings. President Lyndon Baines Johnson had the networks to cut me off. But the people had heard enough. From all over, telegrams of support come. Johnson's compromise was to offer us 2 seats. We refused. We ain't come all this way for no 2 seats when all us is tired, and we sick and tired of being sick and tired. The delegation approved his compromise. They would not recognize us. I cried, not for myself, but for America. America, America, God mend down every flaw, confirm thy soul in self-control, thy liberty in law. SNCC radicals such as Stokely Carmichael saw this as proof. The whole system was corrupt. More and more, they challenged the leadership of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. They wanted freedom at any cost. If they had to die, they wanted to die fighting. Though the one thing we did wrong, stayed in the wilderness far too long. Paul and Silas down in jail, but nobody to go their bail. So the first thing we did right was the day we started to fight. Keep your eye on the prize. Hold on. Young man, what you doing back there? December 1964, I stood on stage at the Audubon Theater with our shining prince, Brother Malcolm X. He say I was the country's #1 freedom fighting woman. 2 months later, on that same stage, before his wife and children, he was gunned down by brothers. And we sing a little bit for Brother Malcolm. Just a closer walk with thee, just a closer walk with thee, just a closer walk with, y'all can't sing. Just a closer walk with thee. Through this world of tall and snares, a closer walk with thee, just a closer walk with thee. If I falter, Lord, who cares? Just a closer walk with thee. Who will all my sorrow share? Just a but thee, dear Lord. None but just a closer walk with thee. 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 Grant it, my Lord, if you please. Daily walking close to thee. Let it be, dear Lord. Let it just a closer walk with thee. About a month or so later, SCLC decided on a 54-mile march from Selma to Montgomery to focus national attention on the violence of this country. On the Edmund Pettus Bridge, Hosea Williams, John Lewis, and 600 marchers was brutalized by state troopers on horseback. Oh, they tell me they rode them horses all up in the church house. They called it Bloody Sunday. When Viola Liuzzu, a white Detroit housewife, saw footage on television, she drove her old Oldsmobile for 3 days to join the demonstration. She was chased by the Ku Klux Klan at speeds up to 100 miles an hour and shot twice in the face. When my feeble life is oh so close to walk with thee, just a closer walk with thee. Time for me won't be no more. Guide me gently, safely home to thy shore, to thy kingdom, just a closer walk with thee. About a few weeks after that first attempt, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. led 3,000 marchers across that same bridge. When they got to Montgomery 5 days later, there was 25,000 marchers from all over, all walks of life. This was the last massive act of unity between black and white, radical and moderate. In '64, there had been riots in Chicago, Harlem, and Philadelphia. In '65, riots broke out in Los Angeles. In '66, the Black Panther Party was founded in Oakland. It was needed. December 4th, 1969, Illinois Panther Chairman Fred Hampton, age 21, was brutally murdered by Chicago police. Even Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. could not escape the violence that was shaking America. April 4th, 1967, in a speech in New York City, he challenged America. If America continues to make nonviolent protest possible, she is making violent revolution inevitable. I hate to say it, but America is the #1 perpetrator of violence in the world today. 1 year to the date. You hear me? 1 year to the day. April 4th, 1968. In Memphis, Tennessee, he was shot and killed. The whole country erupted, and Nina Simone sang. Once upon this planet Earth lived a man of humble birth, preaching love and freedom for his fellow man. He was dreaming of the day peace would come to earth to stay, and he spread the message all across the land. Turn the other cheek, he'd plead, love thy neighbor was his creed. Pain, humiliation, death, he did not dread. With his Bible at his side, from his foes he did not hide. And it's hard to think that this great man is dead. He was for equality for all people, you and me. Full of love and goodwill, hate was not his way. He was not a violent man. Tell me if you can, why was he shot down the other day? Will the murders never cease? Are they men or are they beasts? What do they ever hope to gain? Will my country fall, stand or fall? Is it too late for us all? And did Martin Luther King just die in vain? 'Cause he'd sing the mountain top, and he knew he could not stop. Always living with the threat of death ahead. Folks, you better stop and think, for we're headed for the brink. What can happen now that the King of Love is dead? I know that we are running late, but I have one more thing that I need to share with you. I am very, very disturbed by what is going on in this country in the streets as far as, more specifically, young black men. And I know that I'm not the only one that's disturbed. I know that this is not a new phenomenon. We Africans have been brutalized since we were brought here. The MO has changed. Where they used to lynch our young men, they now shoot them down in the street and they let them lay there until they die. The most recent assault has been the stripping of the Jackie Robinson Youth League of their title, stripping them of their coaches and their father figures. Many of them have no fathers. And so I usually sing another song, but I have been singing this song for all people, for my young black men. I'd like you to help me. Every time you hear me say "in the ghetto," I want you to repeat after me and I want you to sing it. All right? On a cold and gray Chicago morn, a poor little baby child is born in the ghetto. And his mama cried. 'Cause if there's one thing that she don't need, it's another little hungry mouth to feed in the ghetto. People, don't you understand? The child needs a helping hand, or he'll grow to be an angry young man someday. Take a look at you and me, are we too blind to see? Or do we simply turn our heads and look the other way as the world turns? And a hungry little boy with a runny nose plays in the street while the cold wind blows in the ghetto. And his hunger burns. So he starts to roam the streets at night. He learns how to steal and he learns how to fight in the ghetto. Then one night in desperation, the young man breaks away, buys a gun, steals a car, tries to run, but he don't get far, and his mama cries. As a crowd gathers round an angry young man, face down in the street with a gun in his hand, in the ghetto. And as her young man dies, on a cold and gray Chicago morn, another little baby child is born in the ghetto. In the ghetto. In the ghetto. In the ghetto. And his mama cried. Thank you.